How can one born in the pit of life's struggles see past their own existence? When you have naught but a brass penny to your name, what truth can you know save hunger, or the desire to survive? Power breeds malfeasance. Your kings and queens squander lives like pawns on a chessboard. It is no wonder the darkness fills your heart so. Soon nothing will exist without the taint spreading like a wildfire. Most that can see it ignore it. They shut it in a box in the mind. But no box is closed forever. The mantle has fallen to me to right the world's wrongs. No other will combat it. No other will see it done. The pyramid of society must be rebuilt, brick by brick, stone by stone. But first, we must knock it all down. I'm sorry for what is to come, but before rebirth, there must be death.
Okay, everyone that is watching this, this is chapter 14 of No Peace Until Death, season 2. After this one, we're going to take at least a month break from The Witcher, probably with it being played sporadically in June, but then we'll get it back in full swing in the summer sometime, just while we take a little break and do a couple other things. Our last chapter of this part is with Morazzo and Straven. Where we last left off, they had docked at the strange island, but don't stay there for long. Afterwards, they spend a night in this strange, creepy place, but are immediately taken back onto the ship and sailed to the coast, where Morazzo has unfinished business with a witch that has apparently cursed him to turn into a dog. Over the last few days, Morazzo has been sensing and seeing physical changes in his body. He's overly hairy, his teeth are beginning to sharpen, elongate, his jaw's beginning to elongate, things of that nature. Not very pleasant. We will switch the scene here. You docked, oddly enough, you were rowed to shore by this boat and dropped off by a man that didn't speak overly much of the ghost ship. Leaving you on the shore, they turn and sail away, drifting off into an unnatural fog that seemed to lift around them. Morazzo, you knew the village was not far away where you had encountered this witch, and she had put a horrible curse on you. You walk towards the village, perhaps a mile, and I'll let you guys roleplay any conversations you might have on the way.
Morazzo is, as he walks, he's, every so often he's sort of stopping and checking if his arms are getting hairier. He's particularly concerned with the fact his face is slowly becoming more muzzle-like. And as they go into the village, he sort of puts his hand to his nose and says, "Straven, do you think my nose is getting wet? Feels like it's cold and wet. Here, have a feel. Have a feel."
And Straven's kind of idly looking around, looks to Morazzo, and did you really ask me to feel your fucking nose?
Well, no, it was a joke. and he sort of hurriedly backpedals. I'm pretty sure this is
Changes
the
are
village.
happening quickly.
Aye. It's got me rattled, mate. It's. I'm not myself, and not just physically. It's got me worried. What if I can't reverse this?
As long as the witch is alive, she can reverse the curse. Killing her might reverse it as well.
Okay. Seems we've got a chance either way.
If we
Guess
can
it's all we
find
can-
her.
Oh shit. Yeah. No, we'll find her. We'll find her. And he without really realizing it, he scratches behind his ear with his wrist rather than his hand, and realizes he's doing it and quickly stops. I think we should crack on.
Agreed.
Yeah. Another thing that's happened in the last couple days since basically you left the island is, Maraza, you have a full beard unlike this picture. And the beard is kind of creeping up onto your cheekbones a little higher than it probably should. And it is thick. 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 Thicker beard than you have ever grown, for certain.
Creeping up towards the forehead as well. I guess.
No, well, not quite, but yeah, he's not like one of those people with like hair all over their face. No, not yet. So you head into the town, and people give you a dismissive look, pretty much. Some seem to notice Straven's two swords and immediately go inside their homes and shut the door. Maraza, the last time you were here, this place is called the Bay of Winds, and it's in South Verdun a bit. It's just a fishing village mostly. There are plenty of these along the coast of Verdun, not very descript from one place to the other. But you remember exactly where the witch's home was. It's kind of at the end of this little alley. She sold poultices and elixirs and curatives to the locals.
Okay, so I'll start heading in that direction then. I'll make sure Straven knows why we're heading there.
Yeah, you head in that direction, and you don't see very many people in the alleyway, but you do see her building. The door is kind of slightly ajar. You don't see anything of particular interest besides that.
Okay, Mrazda will take a deep breath and turn to Straven and say, "Well, I guess this is it. Wish me luck." And he goes over and knocks on the door.
You knock on the door and you hear this voice. It's kind of surprisingly, I don't know. You can give me an awareness roll, actually. That would be good.
Okay. I can do it from here. It's awareness.
Yeah, you hear someone say, "Come in."
Okay. Does that sound like her voice?
Not that you can. It's hard to tell.
Okay. Razzo will open the door a bit wider and then walk in.
Straven, what are you doing?
Yeah, Straven's kind of looking around, knowing that witches could have endeared themselves to the locals, so won't see if anyone's paying any particular attention, but we'll follow Marazzo in once he enters the
Why
witch's
don't you give me
house.
an awareness roll? You do notice there's a bird kind of on the chimney of this building, looking like down at you. And you do believe it is very similar to the ones on the island.
Yeah, Straven looks at it, narrows his eyes, and he'll keep note of it in the back of his mind, but he'll follow Marazzo in.
Yeah, Marazzo, the first thing you see when you walk in is a very wide backside facing you, and as a woman is kind of hunched over a mortal and pestle, and she's grinding something up in there, and her hips are just kind of moving back and forth. And why, well, this will be ready soon. Take a seat, young master.
Do I recognize this house? Is it definitely the right house?
It's definitely the right house, but it's not the right person.
Damn it. I've got a horrible feeling it actually is. Okay. Okay, so Matsuo will sort of clear his throat and say, I wasn't actually here for any of your poultices or charms.
I think you're here for my charms. And she turns around and gives you this very toothy smile. She's missing several of her front teeth. She's got a huge wart on her forehead.
Holy fuck, Marazzo.
Oh, she didn't look like this, mate. She really didn't. I mean, I'd had a few drinks, but
no, I think it is quite an improvement from the women I've seen you bed before.
Now that's uncalled for.
She
he
just
means
watches,
no insult.
Yeah,
he means no insult,
yeah,
mate.
she watches you guys go back and forth, and she just smiles. Oh, she like pats her big belly. And, I'll be right back. I will freshen up, and don't go anywhere. And she waddles off into the next room.
Straven has a genuine smile on his face as this is going on.
Marazzo is just not meeting his gaze at all. He's not making eye contact with him at all. He's just like looking around the room and just making absolutely sure it's definitely the right room.
It is definitely the right room, and you're assured of that when someone walks in from the other room, and this is who you remember: a voluptuous, tall-haired, pale-skinned, thin-lipped woman. Her bodice is cut very, very low. And she says, "Ah, is that better for your eyes, gentlemen?"
You're a sight for sore eyes. And as he says it, Marazzo kind of looks across to Straven and like raises his eyebrows significantly and is like, huh? Huh? And then he'll look back to her and say, "Well, I think we need to talk."
Oh, yes. You brought a witcher here. Are you going to try to kill me?
I don't think we need to talk about killing. We came to talk. Witchers know a little bit about magic, more than I do.
Well, I would say anyone knows just about anything more than you do.
Now. I mean, I think both of us weren't completely honest with the other one. If we're really to get down to brass tacks, right? You know, I didn't tell you I believing in the morning, and you didn't tell me you were about 3 times my age. You know, I think, and that you were a witch. I think probably there was a bit more deception on your side if we're pointing fingers. But, you know, no hard feelings. Just lift the curse and we'll call it square, have a good laugh and be on our way.
Oh, you're very close, it appears. Why would I lift the curse?
Well, because it's a bloody awful thing to do to someone. And if you don't lift it, then that's when things could get a bit nasty. We don't want things to get nasty.
Well, if you
That's a
kill
beautiful
me,
face you're wearing.
if you kill me, then the curse will not be lifted. I don't see how you have much choice to let me live.
Well, the way I see it, if you don't lift it, it's definitely not lifted. If you refuse and we kill you, then it might be lifted. Or it might not, but at least I've got revenge.
She leans back in the chair. She sits down and hikes her skirt up well past her knees. Well, Witcher, what do you think? I'm growing bored with this conversation already.
I would think you put a curse on him with the expectation he would come back for something. He's not going to love you, and I'm certain this isn't the first man who you've betted and put a curse on for leaving in the morning. So what do you want?
Well, it is a good question. There's someone that has some things of mine. She gives Marazo a little smile. It's not you, it's not you. It's not like a metaphysical owning of my heart or something. There's a sorcerer who took my pets, my pups, as I call them. There's 5 of them. They're all sweet in their own way.
You've built up a collection.
Well, I get lonely here.
Why did this sorcerer take your pups?
Probably for his foul magics. He doesn't like me much.
Where is the sorcerer?
Oh, just outside of town. He has a little run-down estate that he stays in and looks into crystal balls and does his foul magics.
Mm-hmm. And if we take your pups back from this man, you will lift his curse, and you won't make him the 6th addition to your pups.
Unless he wants to stay.
It's very kind of you, but no, I don't think it's for me.
Well then, I suppose the answer is yes. If you bring back my pups, I will lift the curse from you, my sweet.
Alright.
When you say pups, do you mean like little puppies, or do you mean dogs, or do you mean big fuck off wolves?
No, they're dogs. I just call them my pups. They're all assortment of dogs, large dogs, small dogs. It really depended on the original owner of their essence, skin, flesh, whatever you would like to tell. The bigger pups, and she takes her hands and she just makes like, a size like a foot from, and then the smaller dogs, and she brings them closer together and smiles, and then she goes, "You would be a very small pup, Marazo."
And Marazo looks across to Strava and shakes his head and mouths the words, "Big pup, big pup." He says, "Oh, that hurts, love. That hurts."
I'm just kidding. Bring back my pups. You don't have long, I think. Oh, maybe a day, 2, if you're lucky.
How far away is this sorcerer from outside of town?
Oh, I don't know. An hour walk, maybe?
And a day is fine. If you don't hold your end of the bargain, Witch, I'll kill you and all your dogs, if that's fair.
You could try. But it's a fair deal.
Good. How much you want to do anything else with this woman, Marat, so we should get moving.
Ratso, he sort of casts a sidelong glance, but
she
seems now that
interrupts and
he-
she says, "My bed is big enough for 3."
And Ratso goes a little bit pale at that one, and he seems to be sort of thinking back to how she really looks, and he's sort of like, I think we should probably get moving. Aye, right, Straven?
Alright, if you've had one hole, you've had them all. And he turns on a heel and starts to head out the door.
Ratso looks genuinely taken back at that comment, and actually follows him in complete silence for once.
Okay, you leave her, and she just, Razi catches her as she's just watching you leave, and she gives you a little wave as you walk outside.
Yeah, and as they're walking, Straven just laughs randomly. And looks at Marazzo and you laid with her. That's funny.
But I didn't lay with her with the toothy fat one. I laid with the.
If you had to guess how she actually looks, which one would you pick?
Oh, don't do that to me, mate. Is it? Leave me my memories. Come on. He's looking a little bit green under all the hair.
Yeah, and seeing as we didn't ask where that estate was,
Yeah,
I
I'd assume you did. It was.
I would probably, if not, I'd bully some passerbys about it. Hey, where's the fucking wizard?
Yeah, there's a small like trail / road that heads off towards more or less into the away from the ocean. Pretty obvious.
Yeah, he'd make a point to get on with it quickly because he knows Marasa doesn't have long, and he's already acting like a damn mutt. So the sooner the better.
It's starting to grow a little dark by the time you get there, and you see this pretty run-down estate with 2 statues with this unnatural light kind of illuminating the stairs that head up to the front door. There's no one else there that you can tell.
You noticed on the walk that Marazzo was continually just kind of like, walking and almost trotting slightly ahead of you. And you weren't quite sure how much of that was him being eager to get this all over with, or whether it was the way dogs like to always be slightly ahead of everyone and just keep running ahead.
And as they're heading there, I have to put a leash on you.
What? And he stops because he also realizes he was scratching behind his ear with his wrist again. And it's like, no, this is. I'm just. And he just drops behind.
Try to keep your wits about you. All we're doing is trading one sorcerer for another.
Aye. But I've got some hope now. We might have a chance.
If she keeps her end of the bargain, you think you're the first man to go back to her and ask for the curse to be lifted.
No, bugger. No, I'm going to stay positive. Positive. Aye.
You do that.
He doesn't look that positive now.
Approaching the estate, you said it didn't look like anybody else was here?
Not outside, at least.
Yeah, I mean, if the gate's open, then...
Yeah, the gate's open, the doorway, or the walkway to the door is clear.
He would just approach it and knock on the door. Bald fist. Loud, because it's a big house.
Yeah. You hear, "What is it you want? Go away from this place. I am not receiving."
You're going to have to make an exception for a Witcher, I think.
I have no quarrels or need of a Witcher.
But the Witcher has need of you. Open the door, I'll kick it open.
Maybe I'll burn you to a crisp when you walk inside.
We can see who's quicker, or we can talk like men. It's up to you.
Pah. You hear the doors actually go and just open, just slightly.
Yeah, Straven pushes it, and he looks at Maratza. He's about to push it all the way open. Don't trust the wizard. But don't go for your sword quick. They'll burn you down.
No, understood. I'll follow your lead.
Alright.
You push open the door. Clearly he did not open it physically. And you see a shape of a man walking down the stairs. Guys. He looks middle-aged, shorter length hair pulled away from his head. This place doesn't look like some rich manse or anything. It looks just kind of dilapidated and ill repair. The chair or the stairs creak as he makes his way down. You see he's got in his hand, one hand, a book, and his fingers stuck inside of it as he's like keeping his place, and the other is like a small like rod of some sort. And you notice it's like it's almost acting as a candle, because there's no other real light in here. Well, what is it you want, Witcher and his? He looks at Marazzo. Ah! Well, that explains it, doesn't it? A dog man.
So, a little unkind.
But the truth. He looks at Marazzo and looks back at the sorcerer. My name is Straven. I am here because my friend here, Beda the Witch, is being turned into a dog by her curse. She tells me that you have 5 men who suffered a similar fate.
Yes, I do. And you actually see one sitting in the hallway past the stairs. It looks similar to like what a Doberman Pinscher would be. They've all come here for safety and refuge.
Safety and refuge? Does she not care for them?
Explain what that means. She thinks she loves them, but she performs experiments on them. But I won't bore you with that. They're not here for any altruistic means of mine, at least. No. I keep them from her because she has something of mine.
I see. It is one of these spite games. He looks down on the ground. What does she have of yours?
A book. Of significant importance, I might add. She is ignorant to it, but she thinks she can weasel some ritual or hex from it. She cannot. She has not the skill in that manner. This is a sorcerer's book.
So, of the 2 things being taken, her pets versus your book, who took from whom first?
She took my book first, of course. Why would I hoard her doglings otherwise? It makes no sense.
Sorcerers rarely make sense, if you'll forgive my assumption.
Well, that I understand. We think at a much higher plane than most people, even witchers.
Yes, and such a heightened level of existence that higher planes earned you.
He basically, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to try to take these dogs back? I'll burn them to a crisp before they leave this place.
I'll talk with this bitch and see if I can get the book back for you. And then if the book is in your possession, you'll give me the dogs.
Fine.
Fine. What's the name of the book? What does it say?
I don't think you would be able to read the inscription. It's in ancient Elvish. But on the front, here is a pentagram. And if you don't know what that is, it is a circle with a star in the middle.
I'm familiar. He looks around. We'll be back.
Good.
Razzo was having realised what these dogs were. He was taking the opportunity to feed scraps of dry meat from his pack to a couple of them.
Yeah, there's one that comes up. It's like the size of a chihuahua, and it looks up at you and sniffs you and licks your hand as you feed it. And the wizard's watching you kind of out of the corner of his eyes, and he's like, I have a good space for you if you need to return here as a guest.
It's a very kind offer, but I think not. I've given the word to my friend here to well, if I turn, take me in or put me out my misery.
Well, I hope for your sake it is that you are cured from this ailment, because I do want that book back.
Fair dues.
He just turns around and walks back up the stairs slightly, and then realizes you haven't left and just stops and turns over his shoulder.
Oh, I leave pretty quickly.
Okay. You guys are out of there. Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark at this point, and you're heading back towards the town. Anything you guys want to talk about?
Razzo's feeling a little bit less optimistic at the moment, so he's not really saying too much, but he's very much watching Straven and taking his lead.
Straven is just walking at a steady pace, doesn't say much to Marazzo unless prompted.
Yeah, you end up in the town fairly easily, making good time. The trail's clear, and you walk back to the alleyway. Marazzo, you catch a sight of a bird looking down at you from above. It flies overhead and squawks. But you can go back in the house if you want.
That would be the plan. I think Straven would just kind of stride in, not knock.
Yeah, that's fine. You see sitting there on the chair is the witch, where she was before. She's holding in her hand basically a small tray, and she has a few leaves and things spread out there. She looks young at this point, and she looks up and she kind of looks looks at you and then looks behind you and, ah, no pups.
Need something from you if we're going to get them.
What's that?
A book you stole from the wizard, which is the reason he's keeping your dogs.
Ah. Well, I'm afraid I can't give that to him or you.
Because you can't, or because you won't?
Because if I do, then he will have immense power to do horrible things to the people around here.
And Straven kind of scratches his chin. Horrible things like turning men into dogs, for example.
That's a means to an end. A means to an end.
A means to what end?
Well, everyone has to have their secrets. But it's for the good of the greater good, if you will. Sorry, Morazzo. You were fun for the 5 minutes or so we shared.
Oh, wounded. And he's again looking across to Straven and just like shaking his head. No.
I think she's full of shit about the greater good part, because it definitely seems selfish to Straven, but he's not.
Human
sure about reading
perception,
her.
sure.
It's gonna be terrible. Yeah.
Could go either way. It sounds pretty bullshit, but you know that witches and wizards and sorcerers have their own ways of thinking. Maybe to her it is, but...
So what great harm is this wizard going to do if he gets this book from you? And how are these dogs helping you preserve this greater good? What good is going to come out of turning this man next to me into a dog when I have seen the quality of man he is? He would not be a very good dog, but he's a better man than most men I've ever met.
Do you think so? Really?
Morazzo looks genuinely taken aback. He's speechless.
How much do you know this man? And he kind of gestures his head over to Morazzo.
Oh, I don't know.
Other than the 5 minutes you spent in his company, how much do you know of him?
I know he was eager to get something that he wanted, but not to repay the act with kindness. It is almost thievery.
No, we both had a nice time.
She gives you
I
this
think
look
it's
like,
more like
come
10.
on.
Yeah, Straven looks at Morazzo and... There's nothing you're not telling me. You didn't make any deals. You didn't make any promises. What did you say?
Do I remember anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's... You wouldn't have probably remembered the details. Is there like a recall? Hold on.
Let me have a look. Under intelligence, see what we've got. There's deduction.
Yeah, deduction could be.
Yeah,
They
that-
tried to
I
choose how
would-
you fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Go ahead. Deduction would be good.
He's probably quite familiar with using it for that.
Yeah, you don't remember. It was, you were drunk, you know. It's just, I mean,
I don't remember anything. Mum, if I promised anything rashly or was unwise, then I do apologize. Sometimes I seek solace in the arms of women from well, some painful memories.
you don't remember then. Before you entered my bed, I asked you if you would have breakfast with me, and you assured me that you would. That's all I asked. He couldn't even agree to that without breaking his faith.
That's just a bad memory.
Your memory is bad now, but you think you didn't remember it in the morning?
Aye, I think I didn't.
Ah. Men seem to think they'll get what they want and leave without anything. How many men have sired children with these poor peasant girls around here and ran off at the first instant? Maybe they waited a few weeks to realize she was with child, and maybe not even that.
Radzo's looking a little bit uncomfortable. This seems to have sort of triggered some sort of memory in him, and he's looking. He's got a bit of a far away and pained look.
And Straven looks at Marazzo and he looks back at the woman and he says, "Fuck your breakfast and fuck your reasoning. If every man on this world was turned into a dog after betting a woman he went after one night, half the world would be dogs, and I would have a contract on you."
Well, I did not say that. I said betting a woman with her consent is no big deal to me. It is breaking your vows, breaking your trust with someone.
A vow breakfast, and you're turning this man into a dog.
I could have breakfast with you now if you like, says Marazzo slightly distractedly.
Yes.
This man has risked his life for people. Put his life on the line for me, others, protected people who couldn't protect themselves, and you're going to turn a good man into a dog over bacon and eggs.
Who has he protected? Who... I know not this part of this man's life, nor do I truly care so much. Men die, men live. Evil men live, good men die.
Then why turn him into a dog over a broken promise of breakfast? What other promises were broken to have you turn men into dogs?
It is generally something similar. I've had men promise to buy me pearls, to love me forever, to... you name it. It doesn't matter. But this was simple. Usually if a man will say something as something he cannot actually repay or do, then, well, then he is lucky enough to share my bed and go on his way. But if someone simply says, "Yes, I will have breakfast with you for something such as this," and they repay me with such a slight, such disregard, that is not a man of character.
You're turning men into dogs for having bad character, and this is for the greater good.
I think there's a difference anyway between bad character and potentially a little weak character. I think my heart's in the right place and I've put many a bad man in the ground. But do I forget stuff? Aye. Am I sometimes looking to have fun and move on in the morning? Aye, I am. I don't seek to do anyone harm, though. It's worse than me in this world.
Oh, certainly. There's no doubt. No doubt. Well, if you wish to have the curse broken, bring me my dogs.
Well, can you give him the book?
No.
Otherwise he's going to burn your fucking dogs.
Don't let him. You're a witcher. You're a man of skill with a blade, are you not? Protect the dogs. If he kills one or two, unfortunate, but some things happen. Or you could try to kill me and he will turn into a dog if I die, and you won't get the book. And then he won't give you the dogs, and it won't matter. Choose. Get the dogs, bring them to me, or even if you do kill me, then bring the book back to him and sow horrible destruction upon this place.
What kind of destruction?
Yeah, one second, guys. What just happened? That's weird. My browser crashed or something. Hold on.
No.
Yup.
So, what was the last question? Sorry.
I think she
said something.
Yeah, I think she just set out how she's giving us this this choice. But I was saying, how do we, what's he planning? How do we know she's telling the truth?
Yes, that's to her.
Yeah.
She just... Well, I don't know that you actually know. But if you bring back my dogs, I can promise you... She just shrugs.
If we bring him back, will you treat him better?
The dogs?
Aye.
I treat
The poor
dogs.
buggers you turned into dogs.
I tell you this. Bring back the dogs, and I will break the curse on all of them except one.
Why except one? Did he do something worse?
Because she wants one. At least one. Why do you care? As long as your curse is broken. Fuck it.
Oh. I feel a bit bad for those other poor buggers. But you're right, you can't save everyone in this world.
There's
Sounds a good deal.
one that doesn't deserve any sort of freedom. But it will be treated well enough. Better than I was treated.
Well, I think that's the best we'll get, Straven.
He turns and just leaves the house again. Growing annoyed with these bickering wizards.
Yeah, you march out of the house.
Ratso sort of rushes to catch up with Straven and says, "Oh, this is a fucking mess. What's the plan?"
We're going to kill a sorcerer.
What the one you said was gonna burn us to a crisp?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, oh shit. Alright. Very well.
Yeah, he stops and he kind of exhales deep, and he's gonna turn and grab Marazzo by the scruff on his chin. You're gonna owe me for this bullshit.
That, I think, is a fair assumption, mate. Aye.
He lets go and starts walking. I don't know what he knows. Sorcerers can do all sorts of things. I don't know how skilled he is.
I could distract him by pretending that I'm finally turning fully into a dog. Give it a big screaming and writhing, kind of falling on the ground and rolling around kind of thing. Might let you get a little bit closer to him.
He's not going to care if you do that.
He might be interested, just watch it.
He's only going to want to know if I have a book. So, I'm going to bring a book in, We're going to draw that symbol on the front of it to get him down. And when he's within striking distance, we'll spring on him.
That works.
Don't give him
correct.
a chance to speak or move. If he does, well, we'll find out.
Aye. Makes sense. Where are we getting a book from?
I have books.
No, I.
Hmm.
Never had you down for a reader.
Books are better company than people.
Oh. Yeah, never much seen the value in it myself, but alright. Alright.
Can you read?
Well, that might be the problem, actually. Aye. Probably
Mhm.
makes them less fun.
There are some that are illustrated, and he brings a book out. Sees about scribbling some kind of pentagram on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're able to do that.
Alright.
Oh, so that's one of them penta thingies. Alright. Okay.
Pentagram.
Pentagrams. Alright, pentagrannies. Aye. Got it.
Starts walking back down the trail. He's going to cover the book in some kind of burlap.
Yep, that's fine.
And head back to the sorcerers.
Okay. Alright. Oh, one sec. You do, and you find the door is still open. Are you just gonna walk right in?
Yeah, we'll walk in. We have your book. Just kind of calls out.
There's one of the dogs comes up to you and sits down at your feet and like barks a couple times. And as that's happening, the wizard finally comes down. He doesn't have the book in his hand, but he has the rod. You do. Wonderful. What did you have to do to get it? Murderer, I hope?
And he looks at Marazzo and he shakes his head. You don't want to know.
Marissa looks uncomfortable.
That is curious. Well, bring it to me.
And Straven will start heading up to hand him the book.
He, as you're walking forward, he's like, "It is good that you have brought it. If she would crack the mysteries of that book, it would be a horrible thing that would befall these people."
Alright. She said the same about you.
She's a liar. Look what she did to you.
Aye.
Perhaps with this book I can help remove your curse. All these men's curses.
Have I got any way of kind of assessing whether I think he's being honest?
Human perception.
Yeah, human perception.
It's under int, is it?
No, it's under empathy.
Yep.
Ah, okay. Empathy. Perception.
You definitely think he believes he is speaking the truth.
So what were you planning to do with the book? I mean, sounds like you're gonna turn these dogs back to men. But what else?
What else? I'm going to study it and research it. and then eventually I will destroy it. It cannot be left in the hands of... fall in the hands of someone else again. He, as you get closer, Strahd, he looks down at the book, and... I mean, do you have... is there like a... let's see. Let me see what skill that would be. I believe there is something like this. Just do a craft. Forgery. Forgery. There you go. Never rolled.
Any bonus for putting it in a burlap sack so he can't see the front of it?
Oh yeah, it's in a sack. Yeah. So yeah, never mind. So he takes the burlap sack and he. Well then, thank you.
Yeah, as he's pulling it out, I'm going for the blade on my waist.
Go ahead and give me a stealth roll. Let's see if he recognizes it, just like spots it.
I'll put all 3 points of luck into it.
Okay. You guys should have full luck, by the way, like whatever your maximum luck is. So if you have more than that, ooh, that's good. He definitely doesn't see it. Well, you can take a free swing if you like. Here, let me. We can move over to the tactical side. Let's say it's something like this. Yeah. So yeah, you can go ahead and swing up on him.
Any restrictions? Quick attack only? Heavy attack?
I would say just one quick attack, so don't double up on it, just do
Seems
one.
good.
Yeah.
That's fine by me. It's the meteorite sword as well.
Yeah.
Right. 27.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a dodge at a really bad negative. Yeah, it's not good. 27. Let me check my criticals. I believe that's the worst one you can have. That might kill him outright. Deadly. So that's 10 damage just right off the top. He has no armor on. That's a limb though, so he takes 10. And half of that, it's going to be 8. So he's going to be at 12. Okay, that's just damage. Let me get the critical thing out. Go ahead and roll a deadly critical on there.
Oh shit! Oh.
Yeah, okay. Describe it.
So yeah, Straven, as he's pulling the book out, is maybe that realization that he's been bamboozled, and Straven just brings the Witcher sword out from his sheath and brings it clean across, starting from the leg, going all the way up through the spine, and just almost bisects him, basically.
Yeah, the head and the just blood. It's such a clean cut, right? That it just cuts him in half. And the dogs begin to howl, like it's like almost deafening how bad they're howling.
And Ratso looks across at Straven and says, "Holy fuck! Remind me to never piss you off, Straven. That was wow."
It's just men killing men, like it always is. And like it's always going to be. He puts the sword away and
Start getting the dogs.
As you begin to put you see the dogs begin to start growling. They don't appear to be too happy. Any motion to come near them, they kind of snarl and snap at you.
Straven looks around and...
You think they understand us? Looks at Marazzo.
I don't know, mate. Fucking magic. It's just... Ugh. It's a mess.
Straven looks at one of the dogs.
You understand the words I'm talking, you fucking mutt?
They are...
So this big barks at me.
Yeah, it just growls and... Yeah.
The bitch said she would turn you back. If you come back. If she doesn't, I'll do the same to her that I did to him.
Boy, let's see. Let's give a... Is there like a... You can give an intimidation with a negative, maybe? Or it may be a survival with a negative. Either one I would be okay with.
Wilderness survival? What's the negative?
It's going to be like a negative... I was thinking a negative 2.
Okay. Well, Marazzo, unless you've got better than that, I think I'll do it.
Yeah, I was wondering whether I could try persuading them, but it depends whether they can even understand.
I would, with a negative, like, a -4 for that one, I would say. You can both try.
I'll do
Okay.
wilderness survival, and I've said what I said.
Yeah, and I'll be sort of like, trying to throw them a bit of the dried meat again, and
Yeah, there's one that seemed to
get them
like
to listen
you,
to them.
right, from before.
okay. So yeah, I'll be trying that and sort of say, you can trust him. You can trust him. And I've got -4. So that's including the -4. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't seem to care, and in fact, one of them like begins to kind of stalk Straven, and 4 of these dogs like come at you, trying to bite you, and we'll roll for initiative.
What's
It's an
initiative under?
combat menu.
Ah, got it. Yep.
All right, Marazzo, you're up. I would say Marazzo definitely does not have a sword out yet.
Yeah. Okay. So if they're all starting to move in, he will, if he can, he'll draw his. I don't know whether he'll be able to do it all, but he's gonna.
You can draw. You can use one action to draw your sword, and then you can use another action to attack.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay.
Move slightly over to this one and attack.
Okay. So make sure you set it as your second action. I'll subtract the stamina because it'll ask what action it is.
Okay.
And Straven, I'll say you were going to put your sword away, but you didn't because this kind of happened at the same time.
Extra action, yes. And I guess it's fast strike.
Yeah. Well, you could do the other one, but... okay, it's going to try to dodge. So it's a hit of 3. I don't know if they technically have armor. Let's see. No. So that does 16 damage to the arm. So it's 8 damage. How do you cut one of these things like shoulders, basically? The one that like as you strike it, and then roll D100.
Okay.
No bleeding. Then you get to attack again with a fast strike.
Cool. I'll do that again. Whoops. Click. Extraction, yes. Fast strike. 14.
Okay, it's gonna try to dodge again. Hit. 18 damage. To the okay, so it takes 9 damage. Yep, that's
I'll roll
it.
for the bleeding
Yeah,
again.
roll for bleeding.
Okay. No.
So this one you cut twice and it's bleeding really badly. The other one beside you kind of charges you a bit, comes up behind you and tries to bite your back leg.
Okay.
Let's see, this thing is. $15.
Okay, and it's going to be what? Dex to dodge, is it?
There you have a dodge button.
Yep.
In the
Oh, okay.
combat menu. I'll subtract
Got it.
the
Yep.
stamina.
No.
It's a hit.
The
So
head.
yeah, somehow it bites you in the head. So so what's your do you have armor on your head?
Let me just check. Gear inventory. No, I do not.
Okay. So hit location times 3. So all right. So it leaps up and grabs you by the back of the neck and starts like shaking its head, and you just feel like the blood just begin to just soak your shirt as this thing is just ripping at your neck.
Bugger.
Yeah, 18 damage there. Straven, you're up.
Straven's gonna go ahead and put Quen on himself, or Kien.
Yeah.
And I'll put 4.
4
I think
stamina.
4 stamina. I put 4 stamina into it.
What is that? Does that? How much does that?
It's
give you?
1 for every
So you
for
get-
every
you get
point
4
of stamina.
armor?
Yeah, I get. Well, no, it's so it says crit shield that blocks 1 attack you fail dodge for every point of stamina spent. I don't know if that's the same as the errata or what that is, but
Can you just roll it off your sheet so I can read it real quick?
sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll put 4, and I'll just mark it with this. Says on fail. I can still attempt to dodge. It's only on failed stuff. And then if I'm able to, I don't know if I can.
Yeah,
do
that
anything
would
else
be
with
one
that.
action, right?
Yeah, I would go ahead and I would, if I can swing on this dog as it's coming at me, like just try to pommel strike it, because he's not trying to kill them. He's just trying to.
Alright, so this is
Put them out.
before we move on. Here's what Ken does. Ken creates a
I mean-
shield with 5 hit points per stamina spent.
So it's 20. Okay.
Yeah, it's 20. Alright, so here, what I'll do is I'll take that off. Or actually, I'll do this. I'll do 2, and 0. Ah! 2. No, hold on, sorry. There we go.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, you can
And then,
you can smack it, do kind of unarmed. You can still do normal damage. We'll just say it goes against his stamina. That's what would happen.
Yeah, so he's just gonna fight it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to take him alive because that's the point. So it must be. You can do 2 quick attacks, or is it?
You can do a quick attack. Yep. It just do a -3 for second action.
Will it proc for extra action if I put it in there?
It will. Yeah, if you put extra action in, it'll automatically do the modifier. Alright, 20. It's going to try to dodge. That's a hit. That's a critical 2. It has no... So that knocks it out.
Yeah, so as it's coming towards him, Straven just takes the pommel of his blade and bashes it and throws it to the ground. Sees Marazzo carving into the one.
Don't kill them, Marazzo. The witch needs them.
They're gonna fucking kill me.
Yeah, this one comes forward and attacks. Tries to bite you. $13.
Okay.
Actually, it's 14. 14. It's a hit.
Can I use luck on that?
You gotta do it before you roll.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's 4 damage. What's your armor on your torso?
12.
Yeah,
I
it doesn't
think.
get through. So it kind of leaps up and bites, but it just kind of headbutts your chest plate or whatever. This other wolf comes at Straven and tries to bite him. Fumble. I mean, it's gonna be a 6. Yeah, does not hit. Yeah, you just dance out of the way somehow. That one's unconscious, so back to Marazzo. And you have this huge gash in the back of your neck right now.
Yeah, Marazzo's swearing up a storm as he A, realizes he's been badly injured, and B, that he can't kill these things. So he decides to follow Straven's lead, and with that wolf one, he's just going to try and pommel strike it.
Yep, it'll go against its stamina.
Okay. So do I still use the sword skill?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Extraction, no. And I'll do fast strike.
Okay. Okay.
24.
It'll try to dodge. Nope, that's a critical. Go ahead and... Okay, so we won't do bleeding, but... So it's a critical, it takes 3 damage to its stamina. And then 20 divided by 2, I believe, yep. So another 10 from its stamina, so... You whack it pretty good with your pommel, and it looks a bit dizzy. You can go ahead and attack again.
Okay, yeah, try and finish it off. $18.
Alright, let's try dodge. No, that's gonna knock it out. It has that look. I should knock that one out.
Okay, can I with my extra action, can I wheel on the other one?
Yes, you certainly can.
Try and do the same
So you just smack it with the flat of your blade across the head, and it falls down, and you wheel on the other one that has bitten you. Blood's on its fangs.
And I snarl back at it. You're lucky I can't kill you, you bastard. And I go to do the same thing, try and knock it out. extraction, yes. Strike. 17.
Okay, it's gonna try to dodge.
Oh.
I'm the fumbler this time. So that's gonna do 5 immediately, and then damage was 24 to the torso. It knocks it out. How's that look?
Yeah, so I wait till it's until it gathers itself for a leap again, and then I just sort of sidestep and just smack it in the head in midair, and it just crumples to the ground unconscious.
Alright, Straven, you're up.
So Straven sees the last wolf, and he's gonna go to just baseball swing with the flat of his blade, basically just side swing and try to clack it in the head.
Ooh, good.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Just D10 it and see what we get.
Do you rake?
29. It'll dodge. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna. Okay, so that, yeah, 17. 19 damage, 8 damage. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look at this. So it takes 8 damage from normal damage, so it's at 12. And then that's, you rolled 29 and it rolled a 12, so it's 17. Let me see what that ends up being. What that is on the crit chart. Oh, it's deadly. I'll just say that does knock it out. Since actually, go ahead and roll on the just to see.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you break its leg, and it just like and just like kind of falls to the ground and is definitely unable to do anything as you knock out or injure the animals bad enough that they are no longer a threat. You do see that there's a dog in the hallway, and it's just sitting there watching. It doesn't attack you.
Yeah, and Straven looks over at Marazzo and sees him fucked up, and
You going to be okay?
Aye, it's not bleeding too bad.
You got any rope with you?
I'll just check, hold on. Has he got rope?
You
No,
would be
he
able
has
to
not got
find
rope.
something suitable in here. He
Cool.
has leashes for each of the dogs, it appears.
oh, perfect.
Ah,
Yeah. So yeah, we'll Straven will look around for a rope though, because he doesn't expect they're going to cooperate on leash. So he just looks for rope, and he's just going to wrap them up and get them all bundled and
Yeah, the one you pretty sure can't walk.
good. So Straven anyway will wrap it up because he doesn't need a mangy dog swirling around everywhere, even if it can't walk. So he bundles them all up. And then he'll take note of the dog that's sitting in the hallway. See it. Is it different in any way from the other dogs? Bigger, smaller?
It's the first one you saw in there, the Doberman-like one. You can give me a deduction or maybe an awareness, one of those two.
Witcher training wouldn't apply in any way to this. I guess it would be monster lore. It's not a monster.
Yeah, I
it's a
don't
damn
think so.
dog. Deduction it is.
What did you roll? Yeah, something about the eyes are a little different. You're not sure what, but the eyes are just different in some way. they appear almost more lucid, you think, maybe?
Yeah, Straubin takes note of it, but doesn't think too much into it. Has a feeling that this one might be the one who's not going back into form. But he kind of snaps his fingers. Come on, you mutt. Come on. He waves towards it.
Yeah, it just walks over and sits at your feet, looks up at you.
You plan on being cooperative? Kind of looks rhetorically as he grabs a leash that looks fit for it.
Yeah, it just sits there and kind of pants for a few seconds.
Good. He straps the leash around its neck. Here, you can have this one. He hands the leash to Marazzo.
All right. So gingerly takes it and he's watching the dog very carefully.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be given any issues whatsoever.
So Straubin's plan is just to backpack the dogs, however they need to distribute it between Marazzo and Straubin.
Okay.
So we'll strap them up to Straubin's back, much like he strapped Marazzo to his back when he was wounded before. And he'll pay no note to the dead man on the floor other than that. He'll just leave. Is everybody still there?
Yeah, I'm there. Just give me 1 sec, sorry.
No problem.
Alright. Use that one. So you make your way back again to her house. And you this time the door is shut when you get there. It's earlier in the day. It's almost morning time probably by this point.
Yeah, Straubin will bang on the door loudly.
Eventually the door opens and she yawns. Oh, my pups. She seems very happy about it. How did you get them for me?
I killed him. And they tried to kill us. I knocked them all out. Well, so did he. Now it's over to Marazzo.
Oh, well, sorry my pups misbehaved, but I think giving them a slight beating might have been in their best interests.
I don't much care what you want. Fix my friend and we'll be on our way. He puts the pups on the ground.
She looks at the one that you had expected, the obedient one, and this one is the one that will stay. And she pulls it over and ties it to the leg of that table, the rope. Well, Marazzo, are you ready to be free of this curse? You don't look so well. You are very pale. Lose some blood?
A little. But I'm more than ready to have the curse lifted.
Well then, let me ask you a question. Will you stay for breakfast?
Aye, I said I would, and I will.
Well then follow me. She reaches out for your hand.
And Marazzo looks back and gives a slight nervous look back towards Straven and then follows her. Gives her his hand.
By the time you cross the threshold, she's changed again into her other form. And in a few moments, the deed is done for your curse to be broken. And she remains in the bed, and Morazzo staggers out of the bedroom. He looks differently. He's not, his beard is thinned significantly. He clearly doesn't have much of a, he looks like in his normal self now.
I need the beer. I need the biggest fucking beer.
What, you didn't get enough of drinking whatever she brews?
Aye, it were a drink. That's right. Yep. Oh, foul tasting it were. Oh, but it were worth it. Aye. And then he stops for a second, and something seems to occur to him, and he sort of calls back to her. You said the others, the other 4, you'd turn them back, right?
She comes back out. Straven, you didn't really see what she, how she looked as she went in there, but she comes back out and, why, yes, they're on on deck for tonight.
What do you mean on deck for tonight?
What did you just do, fool?
I got rid of the curse.
Well, so
And
will
how'd you do
they.
Bradster just sort of turns to Straven and says, well, that's that then. Right. Oh, okay. Thanks very much. Nice doing business with you, and we're leaving. And he just, with that, just walks out.
Oh.
Doesn't want to stay for
Oh, okay. You walk out. I'm gonna
this. He tries to be polite. He's just
go
very
ahead and
hurried.
give me a deduction roll.
Oh man.
And deduction. No.
Yeah, you don't remember, and you go to walk out, and wow, you really haven't learned your lesson, have you, Morazzo?
No, I'll be back in the morning for breakfast.
It is the morning, you idiot.
Yeah, you notice that the
Oh,
sun
yeah.
has just come out. Wow.
And then he also realizes he actually technically said stay for breakfast as well, so he goes and sits down in the corner.
She just like tick, tick, tisk, 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 and she goes over and gets a bowl of something out of. You don't even realize there was something cooking on the stove, but apparently it was maybe, or it just came out of nowhere. And she brings you over a bowl and sits down next to you and looks into your eyes. That was much better. I should have always stayed like this for you.
Right, so it gives her a sort of sickly smile as he quickly wolfs down the food as quickly as he can. Oh, this is lovely. Aye. Great breakfast. Thank you very much. Great hospitality.
She snickers and looks over to Straven. You keep this one out of trouble.
As if I could ever be everywhere to keep him from finding it.
Wow.
If he does this to you again, turn him into a dog right away and save me the trouble.
Would you like some porridge, Witcher?
Forgive me, but I don't take food from witches.
Not a bad idea. And you see her scoop out a bit and Straven, you're pretty sure you think she's eating maggots. Morazo, it just looks like some sort of porridge to you.
Yeah, I'm just wolfing it down as quickly as I can.
And
I
Straven,
won't
you look at
particularly
his
notice what
afterwards,
she's
and you're
doing,
pretty
but-
sure he's eating maggots too.
Yeah, Straven says nothing. He just looks at it and he just kind of shakes his head and goes back to cleaning his fingernails with his blade.
Yeah.
Best. What you don't know won't hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maeve finishes her food and waddles over to her chair and sits down into it with a big creak and pets the dog next to her, the one that was obedient to you. It just has this sad look in its eyes. Well, breakfast is over, Morazo. You may go.
And go I will. So the others, you'll turn them back, right?
Oh, of course, of course.
So I'll just wait outside from.
Wait outside for what?
Them to come out.
Oh,
as men.
You'll be waiting for several days.
Morazo, sometimes it's better to just assume something is going to happen than to wait for it.
Aye.
And why do you give a shit anyway? They tried to kill you.
I just feel bad for him.
I don't.
If I were a dog, I'd be pissed off as well, right?
Well,
Oh,
you
well.
aren't. So you shouldn't
That's
be.
true. I'm not, and I'm not going to be. You know what? The very least I owe you, Straven, is a beer. Is there an alehouse in there? Well, do I remember if there's an alehouse in this
Oh
village?
yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah. I'm heading there now. Get out this place. Yeah, try and wash this porridge from my mouth, and yeah, get fairly hammered and try and forget about this.
And Straven stands up and heads towards the door.
You walk out into the street, and the door shuts behind you. Maeve pulls a book and sits it on her lap, and the front of the book has the cover has a pentagram. She opens it and smiles and begins to read. Meanwhile, above your head, as you walk down the alleyway, a crow looks down. It squawks once and flies into the air. And then you notice in the distance multiple birds fly into the air and fly south for some reason. And as you walk into the alehouse, the beer flows and the screen finally fades to black. That's where we'll stop.
Oh, yeah.